Well guys, it's high time I get my fancy oil pump into my Firebird. I've got some drag racing coming up here shortly. So I also need to check to see how much room that oil pump has to the bottom of the oil pan, because if it's too tight in there, it's not going to be able to get the oil properly. So I'm going to show you guys how I measure that. And so guys, I got to tell you, I'm a little old school when it comes to my pan gaskets for my Chevys. I always use the four-piece, this type of a setup for my sealing the oil pan, and I can do it, and I've learned the tricks to it and all that. So a little hesitant to try this new one-piece gasket from Felpro, and apparently I don't have to use any silicone on it or anything, so we'll see if that's true. And if it leaks later, I'll show you guys, but hopefully I can pull that off, and I won't be sorry about going away from my four-piece setup. But I also got some tubing in the shop here. This is all seamless stuff for the dune buggy, for the suspension and stuff, so we'll be working on that soon. And I'm going to show you guys an engine. This is actually for my buddy Road King on YouTube. This is an old stationary engine. So my dad has had this thing, ever since I can remember, and he's actually given it now to my oldest son. So I'm just storing it here in the shop for him. And so maybe Road King, my buddy there, can give us the story on this engine. So I already removed the old gasket from the engine block, and I also installed a stud kit. You can see one of them right here. I think that's going to come in handy for getting that one-piece gasket back on the engine block. Okay, so I've got my oil pump installed and it's torqued to the right amount, and you can see on the bottom I've got something blue here. It's actually some clay that I've got, and I've got it wrapped in plastic, and I've got some masking tape here holding this bag of clay to the bottom of the pickup of the oil pump. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the oil pan without the gasket, and I'm just going to put it in place here on the engine, and I'm going to squeeze it up, and I'm going to compress that clay, until the oil pan touches the block. And then I'll remove the oil pan, and then I'll measure how much room I have on this clay. So it actually looks like I've got way more than what I need here, but let's go see what we got. I'm measuring right around 7/8 of an inch right here at the tightest spot. So I'd like to see, 3/8 of an inch instead, a 1/4 inch to 3/8 of an inch. So what we have here is, what we're doing is we're actually wasting some of the oil pan capacity by having additional clearance like that. It's fine, I can run it like that, but providing as long as I have enough oil capacity in the amount that I am using. So I think we'll be all right. So a fairly big pan, but if I wouldn't check this and I didn't have enough room, if it was almost squeezed down to nothing, well, that could cost me an engine. Or if I had not wrapped this in plastic and squeezed this clay up into the oil pump pickup, that could cost me an engine. So there's two very important things going on here. Okay guys, so let's see how this is going to work. I'm using some masking tape just to lightly hold it in place till the oil pan is up there, and before I tighten it down, I'm going to wiggle that masking tape out of there. There's little rubber pins that go in these corners. I've got those in the holes already, so there's four of those pins. So anyways, I can get that pan on now. So I don't know guys, I'm a little old school when it comes to my oil pan gaskets. It's the first time I've ever put a gasket on like that without silicone, one-piece gasket and all. So a little curious here. So we're going to fire this thing up and see how that gasket holds out. Do I have any leaks, or what's the deal? This is my oil. Hey, so I think that old school gasket stuff I think that's on its way out because my one-piece gasket that I installed, no silicone. I got the car up to operating temperature and then I backed it slowly back into the shop. So I'm looking for fresh oil on the floor here that followed me in. Oh boy, not a drop of silicone on that gasket. I think we're a winner.